This is a story of Girl Meets World. The girl, Grace Horan of Granger, Indiana, grew up believing that life was all laughter and happiness. This belief stemmed from exposure to Disney princess films and living across the street from her best friend. The world, many cultures of 7 continents, did not share this belief. Since the disintegration of the meaning of happiness, the world believed only 2 things could bring joy. First, success bringing money, and second, what money could buy. Grace meets the world on January 9th. She knows almost immediately that the world has been what she is searching for. This is a story of Girl Meets World. But you should know up front, this is not a depressing story like, I don't know, the movie 500 Days of Summer. The girl unknowingly goes on a journey where she discovers happiness and her career.
They made a statue of us and they put it on a mountaintop. Now tourists come and stare at us, blow bubbles with their gum, take photographs of fun, have fun. They'll name a city after us and later say it's all our fault. Then they'll give us a talking to, then they'll give us a talking to, 'cause they've got years of experience.
Grace, come talk to me. But first, put down that plate.
Mrs. O'Brien, we have to embark on a career project, find a job to thrive and survive in. What happiness.
Grace, calm down. A job in sports is in your future. You have the energy to do the work.
Okay, here's how I started. This is a true story. Is when I was done playing, I played for 3 years with the Colorado Rockies organization. And when I was released, I worked in the gas and oil field. So I went from the Rockies to the oil fields, and when the oil fields came around, I was really bored. About 2 weeks passed, and I missed the game of baseball a lot. And I called my agent that represented me. I said, you know what, I'm bored. I want to do something. And he said, why don't you join the firm? What I did is, in Major League Baseball agent, we would take 5% of the salary. So in the minimum salary in the major leagues is $420,000 a year. So when someone hit $420,000 a year, like the league minimum, we would take our 5. So right there, you're almost taking, it came down to like $23,000 or $24,000 just to represent that guy a year. Now that's for one client. Research the name Eugene Parker.
Okay.
Played basketball at Purdue. He represents a lot of guys in the NFL. He had, I think, at one time like 40 to 45 guys. And those are guys all in the NFL. So there's a lot of money to be made with the more clients you have.
Okay.
But any baseball firm, if you're going to talk baseball agents, between 14 to 18 guys is going to be about the norm. What you'll do for your client is you're going to work on endorsements, like Franklin batting gloves, for example. So you would want to talk to Franklin and you'll say, hey, I have a guy. This guy's name was Avery Barnes. I said, and he just excellent baseball player. Franklin gave him $25,000 a year to wear their gloves. We would take 15% of $25,000. That's how you make money in the job.
So the question is, are there any negatives to the job, and will openings be expected?
Go and watch like the South Bend Silverhawks. Okay, there's 25 guys in those rosters. Okay, every one of those guys right there has an agent. Okay, so someone that they call after the game, before the game, that's working on getting them new baseball gloves, cleats, all that kind of stuff. They all have an agent. Okay, so if you think about how many players are in the minor leagues, that's just baseball. Think about hockey. There's going to be plenty of jobs out there. It's just a matter of, do you really want to do it? It's a hard business. It is. If it was easy, everyone would do it. Bad part about it, too, is that travel, you're gone all the time. You're going to work anywhere between 70 to 80 hours a week.
Wow.
Finally, me, Sport Dating, got an interview.
Only 30 hours till you reach your destination.
Hey, better than last time. Just a dream. Mom, Dad, sorry I have to come to you, but what do you see me doing after college in my future?
I think you should be in either medical school or nursing.
Grace, you have the TLC that someone in that position needs.
What you do is provide anesthesia for surgical services, and you and the patient agree on what type they want and what's going to be best for them. We take them back to the operating room and you put them off to sleep. And then you take them to recovery afterwards and make sure they get out of the hospital in one piece. That's primarily what I do.
Will job openings be expected?
Nurse anesthetists in particular are going to be in high demand because with the new healthcare law, and nurse anesthetists can provide anesthesia at about half the cost of what an anesthesiologist charges.
What are the best and worst parts of your job?
Well, you just had a personal experience with the worst part of my job. The hours vary a lot, so I was planning on being home in time for this, and of course I was 45 minutes late. And usually you have to be on call, which means you can get wakened up any time of the night to do cases. Did you ask about advantages?
Yeah.
I can go anywhere in this country and get a job. There's just really high demand for our services, and it's one of the top paying practitioner professions in all of nursing.
A nurse anesthetist. How perfect. Jobs, money.
But Grace, you forgot the requirements for the job.
What you need is a high school diploma and then 4 years of regular college, and then you do 4 years of medical school, and then you do 2 to 3 years of a residency.
It could be 11 years after high school till I am making money and performing the job. I hate being a nurse anesthetist. How unperfect.
Did you find your future? How'd the interview go?
Oh, I sure did. A future of 9 long years of college, long life after that, money, swell. I hate this song! Summer, help. I'm not only unhappy with my future, but with my life now.
Grace, you just need a search. I mean, you love wandering. That's it! Travel!
What are you talking about? I've never looked into traveling.
Well, maybe you haven't been looking at all.
I have wanted to be a teacher pretty much since I was like in 4th grade. Basically, I'm a teacher. The cool part of my job is that I work in an international school. International teaching is kind of this secret hidden world that people don't know about. When I first started looking into it, I was really scared that I was like going off to by myself. But really, it's something that has existed for years and years and years. And pretty much the typical things that you would see in an American school, we do here also. But it's on a very, very different international scale. It opens your eyes to different cultures around the world in a way that reading about or watching videos about just really can't do.
So what are the best and worst parts of your job?
The best parts of my job is, quite honestly, I love culture. And I know that one of the reasons that you were interested in interviewing me was because you're interested in traveling. And so that's one of the absolute best parts of my job. We get vacation just like in the United States, but in the United States, you go away Labor Day weekend. But here, on my vacations, I've been able to go to the Galapagos, to the Amazon rainforest, to Machu Picchu in Peru, to the beach on the equator, to the cloud forest, to, I've been to 14,000 feet. And so I've been able to do a lot of different things just in the country that I am currently living in that I never would have been able to do. And then I would say probably the worst part is being so far away from my family and friends. And the culture that's, normal to me. It's hard to think about spending Christmas not in the same way that I've done my entire life. It's hard not to be there when, a really good friend is having a baby or someone's getting married, that there's just some things that I've had to miss out on because I'm here, and that's just the trade-off. So it kind of stinks, but I can't really complain.
If Grace learned anything, it's that, as Henry David Thoreau said, to be yourself, not your idea of what you think somebody else's idea of yourself should be. And lastly, Grace Horan says,
we travel. We travel without direction. We travel forced in the wrong directions. This causes us to face our highest mountains, to face the choice of jumping off the tallest cliffs. Travel and worldly things cause us to stumble and fall, but not to sit. It's actually impossible to sit after being pushed over unless you possess some sort of crazy skills. In this case, these skills cause you to drudge your way into work every morning and to sit. To sit in an office, drug people before surgery, set athletes to live their lives while you just sit. Not that any of those careers are wrong. They're great, but for me, they'd be sitting. Choosing my life. Sitting as a way to thrive. Life is not meant to be chosen, but it is meant to be lived. To not settle, but to embrace the journey. I know, Buddha. I have no idea about life's meaning. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. I do know, though, that internationally teaching for me would be living. It could easily be sitting for you. This is just a story of how girl meets world.
Grace knew. She was sure of it now. Sure that happiness's meaning hadn't been degraded, and that it could meet with money and success. Well, Grace was pretty sure.
She's got you high and you don't even know yet. She's got you high and you don't even know.
Hola, Grace Horan of now San Sebastian, Spain, coming at you, my family of Granger, Indiana, on my first day internationally teaching. Love you and wouldn't be here without you all turning me in the wrong directions.